folks.
Quick question about, you mentioned DJ, how trimmed down and he really does look it. Was there like a moment as the season wound down or when you evaluated with Brandon and talked with him that you determined, you know what, you probably do need to lose some weight? Was that all designed to make him a better quarterback?
It's after the season you evaluate everything and what do you got to do to get better in all areas, but it's really more self-motivated for him. Something that he really wanted to do, and the commitment and the sacrifice that it takes to do something like that, really speaks to his grit and his just drive, to be great.
Dabo, what is your concern with the future of the ACC with this widening revenue gap that you see about the conferences?
I don't have any concern because other people worry about all that stuff and deal with it and challenge, figure out whatever. I mean, Lord have mercy, 2036, I'll be, I don't know where I'll be. I'll be with Sapikoff. I'll be doing something. I don't know where we'll be. But that's a long time. They'll figure all that stuff out. But
Coach, you guys have been, as Clemson, you guys have been widely successful. And I know that you are very keen on that academics and also the relationship you have with your players. Is that a model that you can kind of help foster into the rest of the ACC so other teams can follow that, so that maybe the revenue gap and the talent, will kind of fill that up?
I hope so. I mean, hopefully we can, by how we do things, can be a good example to other people and other programs or whatever. And certainly Tony Elliott going to Virginia. We got one of my own there, and so we'll see. But my biggest focus is just Clemson and making sure that we stay at our best. And we've always had a gap when it comes to revenues and things like that for a long time. But if it was simply just about that, then there's a couple teams out there that probably win it all every year.
Yeah, but going back to the first question about the future of the ACC and understanding that nothing's going to happen here anytime soon. Have you noticed,
you must know something I don't know. You know something?
I'm talking about this year or it would. But have you noticed in recruiting kids asking you about, what if this or what if that or what's the future of the ACC? Those kind of
Nobody's asked me one question and never has. Even 10 years ago, 5 years ago, nobody's ever asked me a question about our league. We've always talked about our program, and it's Christian Wilkins, as I said earlier. He didn't come from Connecticut just because we're in the ACC. He came because that's where Clemson was. Klubnik didn't come from Austin, Texas, because of a league or a revenue or whatever. He came because if you're going to come to Clemson, you got to move to South Carolina. That's where we are. DJ came from California. So to me, everything we talk about is about our program, and always has been and always will be. And that really should be, what it's about. And for us, and then just what we've been able to do, as we've built the program over the years.
Yeah, the head coach of the team is
Cutcliffe's working for the SEC now, kind of as a liaison with coaches. He was telling me yesterday he's really worried about burnout in the profession.
Yeah.
Transfer portal and things. Not at Clemson, but just generally in the profession. Are you any concerns about that?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's I'm thankful that I'm the head coach and that I can, set the calendar and kind of create the climate every day that we go to work in, because I do value the families that I work with. Their opportunity to be, fathers and husbands and wives. I mean, we've got a big staff, and man, it's hard work, and we got to grind. I mean, but I do think if you're organized and you're efficient, you don't have to sacrifice your family to do a job. That's what I believe, and that's what I try to create at Clemson.
As the head coach of the team that's been winning the league and representing the playoffs, are you in favor of unequal revenue share and take home a bigger piece of that pie?
So, what was the last part?
Are you in favor of unequal revenue share and getting able to take a bigger piece of that pie home since y'all been winning the league?
Are you talking about like dividing the money up evenly in the past? Oh man, again, that's I'm in favor of whatever our president and AD thinks when it comes to all that stuff. My number one focus is again our team and controlling things I control. Those are big picture conversations. We've got great resources at Clemson, but those are those are higher level. It doesn't matter what I think because I don't have anything to do with it. So, I don't really spend much time worried about that.
How do you feel that Tim Elliott will be successful in transfer?
How or why? Because he's so well prepared. I mean, I've known him for 19 years. I've been with Tony, and he was a player for me, a captain for me, and a natural leader then, and gave him his first opportunity at this level, and did an awesome job. Then gave him a chance to be the coordinator, and did an amazing job, and so that's just who he is. And he's incredibly smart, very gifted coach, and again has the experience. Now again, there's no greater teacher than experience as far as going and doing it. He'll be better next year than he is this year, but as far as being prepared, he's as prepared as anybody can be to have the opportunity.
Dabo, do you expect Strader to go back to a more of an up-tempo offense? DJ was over there saying I expect to have a little bit more tempo this year.
Yeah, we didn't want to go away from being tempo last year, but we didn't have a lot of people on the sideline, and we needed to. We had to kind of manage the game differently to give ourselves a chance to win. There's a lot of things you want to do, but somewhere along the line you gotta do what you gotta do to win. And so, but absolutely, we love to play fast. We love to press the ball, stretch the field horizontally and vertically. But you got to have the horses to do it. And we feel like that we've got the type of personnel that we're accustomed to having, over the past decade or so.
With the amount of people questioning DJ, how important was it for you to stand in front of a room and all these reporters and say that you believe in him?
Yeah, I mean, those who paid attention, I've been saying that from day one. Not just about today. I mean, he's an easy guy to believe in. I mean, he really is. I see him every day in and day out. I know who he is. I know what his skill set is. I know what his aptitude is. I know what his leadership is. Certainly he's got to go do it. We all know that. But he's an easy guy to believe in. He makes it real easy because he is an incredible person, an incredible worker, and really sets the tone for everybody.
What do you think the ideal number of playoff teams is or playoff format would be?
I mean, you're asking the wrong guy when it comes to that. So, because I was good with 2, and I'm good with 4. So, I don't know what it is, but they'll figure that out. I think ultimately it'll probably end up I would think probably 16 or 12, somewhere in that range. I think there's still got to be some adjustments for what's best for the student athletes. I mean, you can't extend the season into late January. Nobody wants to start in July. These are a lot of these young people have pro aspirations, and so there's a lot that goes into it. But again, I think eventually that's where we're going to get to. But what the ideal number is, I don't really know. But I'm sure there'll be some expansion somewhere down the road.
Coach, how do you feel about playing Miami late in the season, obviously your place, and Mario Cristobal, I don't know how well you know him.
Yeah, I know Mario. Know him a little bit from when first met him when he was the head coach at FIU, and he came up to Clemson and been around him a few times, but a great coach. I mean, there's a reason why he's been so successful. He's got a great track record. We actually played against each other. He was on the Miami team in '92 when I was playing at Alabama in that national championship game. So we've kind of had know a lot of the same people and stuff, but he's a great coach. He's done an excellent job down there, and Miami's going to be tough, man. There's no doubt. They're always tough. I mean, we've never played Miami where, they didn't have talent.
When he was at FIU, did he come up just to get some pointers on
yeah,
how to do things?
yeah, just came up to watch Clemson and watch us practice a little bit and meet with the coaches and so forth.
During the season? Or?
It was in spring ball. Spring ball.
The other thing I want to ask you is Frank Latson.
Yeah.
Can you talk about him a little bit and how strange is it? Or maybe that's today's world, just you can see him.
Yeah, it's today's world. I'm beyond that now. It's just kind of normal. But first of all, I'm really proud of Frank. I'm disappointed that he wasn't able to really enjoy the fruits of his labor and his talents at Clemson because he really was hurt. Outside of his freshman year, his last 2 years he was hurt, but he graduated. A really smart kid, and got his degree early. So, hopefully he can stay healthy and have the type of year that he's capable of having and wants to have.
Can I ask you about Dan Raddick?
Yeah.
His leadership style.
He's great. Yeah, he's great. I'm glad we took the keys away from him, so when they come back, we changed all the access codes. Oh man, Dan's great. I mean, he's a really smart athletic director. He's a good thinker. He's a good business guy. He understands a lot of the business. He's progressive. He's going to push the envelope when it comes to trying to be competitive at the highest level from a facility standpoint, staffing standpoint, programmatic type things. I mean, he's very supportive. And, man, I love working with Dan and Marcy, his wife. She's great. But this was a great opportunity for him. And, we started down there, and this was a real, opportunity to go and work with Mario and be a part of trying to help Miami, become the best version of themselves.
Dabo, it's been a changing landscape, obviously, with NIL last year. What have you learned about it as a coach? Can you use it as a recruiting tool if need be? How has that changed your job?
It really hasn't changed our approach at all, other than it's just added one more thing that we need to have resources for and to talk about, in the recruiting process when people come in. Just like, your strength conditioning, your nutrition, your recovery, you want to get better as a quarterback, you better have a good quarterback coach. You talk about your offense, you talk about your defense. You're hungry, you go to your dining hall. So your housing, you want to. So it's just a part of the process. But it's not anything that we lead with or anything like that. In fact, it's the last thing we talk about in our process because I want guys to come to Clemson based on the right things. I don't want them to come here for NIL. I want them to come because they believe in what we believe. They love me. They love Clemson. They love the players on our team. It's based on relationship, and then everything else is a cherry on top. So that's our approach, and it's worked well for us. Just keeping the main thing. We really, like I said, haven't changed our approach at all. We've just kind of added a piece, kind of another spoke in the wheel, if you will. But the purpose of the program hasn't changed one bit.
If you get high school kids that want to ask you, like, hey, what are you going to do for me?
Yeah, we won't get them. They don't come to Clemson.
Dabo, KJ talked about it on the podium. Obviously, with the standard that you guys have set at Clemson, it might be a good thing, though, that people were upset kind of about only winning 10 games last year with the kind of the level that you set up there at Clemson.
Yeah, I mean, it's great that we have, heightened expectations at Clemson. I mean, and nationally, people have grown accustomed to Clemson. I mean, the kids that come to Clemson today, they can't even wrap their mind around when I tell them when I got the job we hadn't won 10 games in 20 years. We hadn't won the league in 20 years. These kids that are coming to Clemson that are 17 years old, I mean, we've had 11 10-win seasons in a row. Just do the math, right? I mean, these guys were 5, 6 years old. They don't know any other version of Clemson. So they think we're supposed to be in the playoff, and, we didn't make it for a 7th year in a row. So if that means we're bad, I guess we're bad. And if not winning the league 7 years in a row means we stink, well, then we stink. But I don't look at it that way. I mean, every year I measure our team based on their commitment to the standard that we've set. And last year's team, their commitment to our standard was through the roof, as good as any team I've ever had. I've had championship teams that didn't have the same type of commitment as last year's team. Now, the disappointment is we didn't do a good job hitting our goals. We didn't win the opener. We did not win the division. We didn't win the ACC. But we won the state championship and we won the closer. So, when those goals are set up to allow us to compete at the highest level, and if we can stay consistent, we'll have those years where we do that. And that's the biggest thing is just consistency year in and year out. It's not, hopefully we can, every time we win 10 games, people are disappointed, because that means that we've maintained the type of consistency in our program that we want.
So have you been able